please welcome Keternal, the head dev for NOISZ and NOISZ STΔRLIVHT, and the little visual novels that are the prequels for NOISZ STΔRLIVHT. Welcome! How are you feeling today, Keternal?
Hi everyone, I can't believe I'm on famous idol Phoebe's Twitch channel.
Excuse me? Keternal, would you like to go ahead and introduce yourself to everybody?
Yeah, hi, I'm Keternal. I am a dragon game dev. I have my own channel on which I occasionally stream random games that aren't the game I'm working on because spoilers, and also I want to take a break. Except I know it has not been active very recently, so I'm sorry, but I hope the game makes up for it because we've been doing that.
Look, it was just a temporary hiatus while you were working super hard on the game. The game will more than make up for it, but you know what'll really make up for it is if you give yourself a proper rest after this.
I will try.
Yes, please. So, just talking a little bit about the game itself. How long have you been... I know you've released a couple other games before this, including the original NOISZ.
Right.
But how long have you been working on NOISZ STΔRLIVHT in particular?
It has been since, I want to say like early-ish 2020. What happened was we released a NOISZ Reverse, and then we went on a couple months break, and then it's like, oh, time to make the next NOISZ.
The game dev life. So, production and stuff started at the beginning of COVID stuff, and was that like a curse or a blessing or both for you in terms of
it was very bad.
It was bad?
It was super demotivating for my team. For me personally, I'm very much a hermit, so it made very little difference to me personally. I mean, like, that sounds terrible. I don't, you know what I mean, though.
No,
I don't go outside much, is what I'm saying. So, so when they were like, oh, you know, there's the plague, don't go outside, I was like, oh yeah, fine.
This is what I've already been doing the whole time.
Yeah, but you know, like some members of my team who are more like extroverted, for example, they got hit very hard, like just mentally, right? And so it slowed us down quite a bit, and I didn't want to push them, so we just slowed down the pace of development a lot to accommodate.
That's very considerate of you, and honestly, the best thing I think you could have done for the team is to take things at a slower pace, to accommodate for all of that. And I mean, I don't know, hopefully things get better soon, but the game has, despite all odds, finally released today, and please know that we're really proud of you and the whole dev team, and serious props to you guys for putting something like this together during one of the most difficult periods in history, actually. So,
it has been quite something.
What was the original projected, goal date, if not today?
So it actually has not changed very much.
Oh, wow.
If you're saying pre-COVID, though, I was thinking it would have come out in April of last year.
Okay, yes, that's what I meant. And it got pushed off, but actually, not terribly. It hasn't even been a year since you guys were projected to originally put it out. And I think it is incredible. It's honestly incredible. And I know that you guys meant to release this back in December, but I think you guys actually boothed at MagFest, and a lot of people were there and got to check you guys out. Some VTuber friends that we know. You got a lot of good feedback there too, and I know you've been working super hard. You guys have all been working super hard to implement what feedback you got at MagFest, and that's crazy because it was just like last month or something like that.
I couldn't tell you if it was like a week or if it was like 10 years. Like it's that kind of like weird purgatory. At the very least, we are pushing a patch tonight, and then after that I want to tell everybody to take a break for like a week.
Yes, please, all of you guys. With that in mind, with everything you've been working on, how did you come up with the concept for NOISZ and for NOISZ STΔRLIVHT anyway? Because you had NOISZ Reverse and stuff, but why NOISZ STΔRLIVHT?
Well, if we're talking the original game, I just thought, wow, if there was a game like this, it would be pretty fun. We were fresh off the release of Pump Infinity, and I basically pitched it to several members of our team, and they were like, yeah, for some reason, they also thought it was cool. So we just went ahead with the game.
Hey!
The weird thing about the original NOISZ, and this has not been the case for this game, but the original NOISZ, most of it, like, in terms of, like, the core gameplay and everything, it was coded in, like, a month. I don't know how that happened, because we have never been able to achieve, like, that level of, like, 0 to, like, a lot ever again. But, like, it just came together super fast, like it was game jammed. We just, like, had it. And then, like, and of course, when I say the core gameplay, I mean, like, just, like, you know, the everything, like, the shot shield, everything to the beat, like, we had robot rhinos working, and all of that was within a month, and it was very strange. But, like, I think it's good that it did come together like that, because what happened was, because it came together in a month, we were then able to play it, and we were like, wow, it actually does rule, and then we just kept making it from there.
I don't know, I was telling you this before, but it really feels like a labor of love. Like, this really feels like a project that has come together as, like, a community effort, your community of game devs.
I am really honored to have, like, such a lovely team, honestly. I don't know how, like, there is such a talented group of people that go along with my crazy ideas all the time, but they exist and I love them all.
And I'm sure they love you too. Like, it's only because of the efforts of a good leader that people are able to come together like this. So please, know that you're probably very, very much appreciated as well. Definitely. I guess with NOISZ STΔRLIVHT in particular, what are some challenges that you ran into along the way? COVID being one of them, obviously, that we talked to. Well,
as it turns out, game dev is really hard. Everything is hard. It's all challenges, baby.
So basically, yes, you run into challenges, and yes, it was everything.
Yeah, pretty much.
But I was so happy to be brought on to NOISZ, because what I came to learn and realize is that it is a project that it's a game that I enjoy. It has messages and characters and core values behind it that are very dear and near to me, and the people that worked on it are lovely. So this has been something that I've truly fallen in love with. So thank you so much, Eternal, for having me on board as Hikari. Thank you.
It's been lovely to have you on board as well. Thank you so much.
How did you... I don't know if this is like a question for interview or not, and if it's something you don't want to answer on stream, that I'm okay with that, but how did you find me? I didn't even know you knew about me.
I didn't. I asked everybody else on the vocal team for recommendations, and then I watched every single one's, like, YouTube, like, several, like, songs that they did. And then I was like, it has to be Phoebe.
Oh man. Thank you. Well, I'm very honored, and I'm glad that I ended up being what you were looking for. And bless you, whoever on the team recommended me. Bless you. But it's been an absolute pleasure, and I'm happy that I made a good friend along the way. Lots of good friends along the way, in fact. You and several people on the cast and on the team, and it's just so... It is something that fills me with joy to think about. So thank you. And
Again, I'm so happy you feel that way.
If I wasn't trying to feed myself and pay bills, I would literally do this for free because of how much I love you guys and how much I love this project.
Please don't do that. It really makes me a lot happier to to be paying my team than to be paying myself. Obviously, like, I do need to support myself also, but, like, I really want everybody to succeed with me. That's how I feel.
Yeah, like, we're all gonna cross the finish line together. That's how it feels like. There's obviously a lot of really, really good songs in the game. That's one of the things that I love about NOISZ, the whole NOISZ franchise, is that you have banger songs. And this is a question that I myself would probably not be able to answer, but I want to see if you have an answer. Do you have a favorite song?
Honestly, maybe Rise and True. And I'm not just saying that because, like, I happen to be on this stream. Like, I think people will assume that, like, Light My Way is the song I listen to.
Oh, the pressure's on.
It's not the because everybody's here. It's just how I think. The thing about Light My Way is it's very epic, and this is I guess what's different about it. So Light My Way has like a really important place in the game as its opening song, and like, you know, it's the main character group's like theme song, right? So whenever I have a song like that, I want to fill it with like foreshadowing and hints about like the story and the lore.
Right.
And so like I write it from that angle, or, you know, like it kind of like has to encapsulate the feeling of the game, right? Because it's its opening. So I wrote it a lot from that kind of place, right? So like the song is about NOISZ Starlight in that sense, right? But the thing about it, like Rise Above and True, is that when writing the lyrics for it, I was a lot more free to write like personal stuff, or like about like, or to express like my views. I was very unhindered writing those lyrics, right? And like whereas for Light My Way, like I had to write something that was very like
the whole game. Right.
Yeah, like it has a lot of meaning for the game, so I pack it full of like juicy stuff about the plot, right? And like Rise Above and True, I'm like, oh, I just get to write anything. So that's like how you get lyrics that mean a lot to me personally, as opposed to being like, oh, like this is the NOISZ Starlight like lore stuff that like once you play the whole game and you come back to the lyrics, you'll be like, oh damn.
Oh man, I can feel it now. Once the whole story's done for the game, all updates are done, I'm gonna come back to it. I'm gonna open up my game, and yes, Cynthia on the Within My Heart is gonna play, and I'm gonna be like, I understand. I have been opened. My eyes have been opened to the truth. True also makes me cry. It makes me cry very much. It's gotta be a contender for #1. I actually felt very similar that it was between Rise Above and True, because those ones resonate within my heart. Within my heart, very, very much.
Where's Galaxy Cross? Like the game? Like, have you seen how difficult it was to make this game? But yeah, that's honestly that's one reason that Starlight did not get delayed that much. It's that so originally we were developing like an auto battler alongside it.
Oh dang.
Like as part of our plan to basically not overburden everyone during COVID, we did not work on it at all.
Okay, that's probably a good call.
Yeah, I think so at least. You know, we made some compromises, but not to the quality of this game.
Yeah, you guys really gave it your all. Mistaken is asking if it will eventually come out, the auto battler.
I am like 98% certain it will. Like, what happens is, if I get a way better game idea, I might do that instead. But like, I'm pretty excited about it, like the way it was. Like after Reverse, like people want to see more of this story, right? Like if I leave it on the back burner and develop another game, like the lore's a little less fresh in people's minds, right? Not that you need to play the first NOISZ to play this. But people like to see a continuation soon. I guess that's my take on it.
That makes sense. I'm still waiting for sequels and season 2s of lots of different games and anime. So I think that the NOISZ fandom probably very much appreciates you feeding them lots and lots of good food with this.
Let's see. We have a question about whether there's any advice for aspiring game devs. I don't know if you want my advice in the sense that, like, well, I mean, maybe you do. The thing is, right, like, our studio's not, like, big. We're not, like, rolling in, like, super cash or anything like that, right? So, by some people's metrics, we're not successful. But in my view, we're doing great because the games we make are, like, stuff we love. We're very excited about them, and we're happy just to see them done. So if that's how you feel about your games, I think they will come out fantastic. Like, the games will be wonderful, and I would love to play them. But I can't guarantee you that they will sell a lot. I can't give you advice on how to sell a lot. if you and your team genuinely think what you're making is cool, I think it will make you and others like happy. Like that will show through in the product.
There was another question earlier about, do we have to play the previous game in order to fully enjoy the story? It's no, right?
Depends what you mean by fully, right? Because these are games that take place in the same timeline. So, you know, you'll get more out of it if you've played the first game. Right? Like, that's just kind of how these things work.
Yeah.
But you'll get a complete story. I think that after the end of the current story content, players of the first game will probably be more confused than newbies. Because they know certain things that are just feeling wrong at this point.
Disregarding the people behind the characters, do you have a best girl?
Definitely Ari from the original NOISZ.
Well, how about in Starlight?
In Starlight, ooh, that's hard. That's really hard. All these characters mean a lot to me. With Starlight, right, like the main group, I kind of wrote like every member of Starlight like semi-autobiographically. Well, this is my take at least, right? And if you're a writer, you might feel differently, or you might have your own like process, right? But for me at least, adding like little a personal experience as a treat, I guess, it gives your writing this like real edge to it. Yeah, if you're just like imagining, right, like it's a little harder to step in the shoes of a character you don't relate to. So I try to write characters that I relate to in some way. For writing this group, like I've like split up different experiences kind of, and then like let them like grow back into their own character separately, if that makes any sense.
Definitely.
So obviously like I did also make up a bunch of stuff, but but like there's just enough real in it, I think, that like people will find like the story and like the way the characters feel has like that punch to it of like oh, like, you know, they feel real in some sense.
They're all your babies, basically. They're all your children. And so that's why it can be very hard to choose a best girl.
Yeah. I mean, like, to some extent, I think, like, lots of people do OCs the same way, right? So. Oh,
definitely. Definitely. It's hard not to insert a little bit of yourself into a character that you love and that you're creating yourself, unless you're specifically writing them to be like a villain or like somebody that's disagreeable.
Yeah, we definitely have a lot of characters like that too, but
it's really interesting to see in chat too how everybody kind of has a different character that they love. It's like you said, everybody will be able to find somebody that they can relate to and somebody that resonates with them in the cast. Real quick, what are some differences that people may note between the original NOISZ and this one that you think are like interesting or like cool differences to keep an eye out for if they've played the first game?
I think everyone will notice very quickly that the gameplay is completely different. It has a lot of common elements. The genre mash is the same. Obviously, things look very familiar, but the feel of the game is new. It's like new and familiar at the same time, so that's one thing. People will also notice that Starlight is way more gay, and the only reason that this is true is that the original NOISZ was very not romance focused. It was set up like very kind of like thriller-y, I guess. Like action stuff is just happening all the time. So because of that, like there's not really very much like romance kind of stuff written in that game. So like we have like 2.5 couples in the original NOISZ, and like 1.5 of them are gay. So like it's not that like proportionally like it wasn't a gay game, but like it just wasn't about that.
It wasn't about that. I'm interested in the 0.5. Would you say that Starlight is definitely more romance focused?
The way I view it, right, like, I wrote the original NOISZ as, like, it's, very sibling love focused, and then the two prequels to Starlight, there's two prequels, did people know that? But there's, two VN prequels, they're free. So Forever My Diamond is romance focused, so it's like romantic love, and then the Sumire and Haku game, My Heart's Reflection, I mean, Haku's pretty gay, but like they're just friends overall. So it's like a friends love kind of story. So like it is and isn't, I guess. But it's definitely more focused on that than the first NOISZ, because the first NOISZ just did not have that stuff.
That makes me happy. I'm a sucker for romance, and I have like exhausted my options for like romance anime and stuff lately. So I'm very looking forward to it. I need more like gay romance in my life too. This is feeding me. I am feasting right now. So thank you. Okay, those are definitely big differences, and I saw the differences in the gameplay too. Like there's no shielding anymore.
Yes.
But I do like the dodging. I very much like the dodging. It's interesting. You guys are gonna. I'm excited to show you the gameplay very much. What's something that people can look forward to in the future of the NOISZ franchise and in NOISZ STΔRLIVHT, be it future updates or anything else that you will have in the works?
Right, so we are adding a new story chapter every 2 months, and when I say a new chapter, I mean like in this game you have like chapter 0.1, 2, 3, 4, so it's like they're like the bigger chapters. Chapters 0 and 1, which are in at launch, are larger than the free VN prequel Forever My Diamond, so there's more than a full visual novel of text in the game right now, and we've just started.
Bless. Oh my god.
So I mean, there's that, and then there's like the music gameplay, right? So like, there's a lot of stuff in this game right now. But there's going to be even more stuff, and also you can, of course, look forward to Rise Above playable in April.
Yay! So you guys heard it here, April. That's when you get to hear Phoebe in the game. Just for me to comment a little bit on the discourse about gay romance in the chat. I like the representation. That's why I mean I love romance in general, but for there to be representation for people who don't get as much representation in other media, it is important in that way, as Best Knight said, for there to be visibility. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, you have to understand that, like, gay romance is kind of playing catch-up in its quantity with straight romance, because there's, like, a gajillion of those. Like, there are so many movies, books, like, games, etc. about, like, straight romance. And so, like, even if you're saying, like, oh, you know, like, gay romance is, like, I don't know, like, some percent of, like, you know, all couples, right? In order for media to catch up to that, do you know how many like gay like games, books, movies we have to make?
Yeah.
There's so many. Like we have, like, you know, we better get started, right?
Right. And in addition to the LGBTQIA+ representation, I wanted to say that I was very, very happy to see people of like a little bit of racial representation as well in your games.
So I was looking at, like, you know, because for, you know, just for reference for this game, right, I was looking at like all kinds of like anime-ish idol groups, right? Like you know, whether they're like VTuber groups, they're you know, just like idol groups in anime like Love Live, etc., like stuff like that. And I have not seen a single group, like it has to exist, I think, but I have not seen a single group with a black lead ever. So if anyone knows of any, please tell me. But like, as far as I know, like Sunrise is the first one there is, and that's very weird to me.
Like, there's just so many wonderful things going for your game. It's lots and lots of representation, and I just wanted to ask you if there's something special that you want people to pay attention to in the game, or what you would like people to take away from the game. Obviously, the story's not done. It's going to continue to be updated. But what's something that you would like people to take away from playing this, either now as the game is, or in the future?
A lot of things I'd want people to see, I kind of want them to see, like, by playing the game, if that makes sense. I do hope people pay attention to the story. I put a lot of heart into the writing. And, like, I know the gameplay is very cool, super tempting. You'll probably want to play it a lot. But, like, do pay attention to the writing, because we went hard on that, or I went hard on that, and Jeff also went hard on the area combos, which are like mini conversations that characters have. So,
I'm excited for those. While I am setting up the giveaway, if you don't mind explaining to people a little bit like what this paid feature of the game is and like how they can redeem it and stuff, or
Basically, when we were thinking about what buying this game would be like, a lot of our previous players, because the original game was a PC release on Steam, they want to just buy something and be done with it. Like, they want a game that, like, feels like, you know, kind of like a PC or console game. You buy it and you're done. It's a premium experience, right? Like, that's what they call it. Like, it's a game you own. It doesn't have, like, all the mobile traps like, you know, stamina or, like, you know, ads, stuff like that, right? So a lot of, like, previous players who are used to that kind of experience want an option like that. But at the same time, we recognize that, you know, mobile gamers, right? A lot of them want a game that's free, but has a lot of, like, free content that you can enjoy, right? So in order to do that, we have our system with coins and Club Pass. And so what happens with coins is you get 4 every day for free. You can use them to play on normal or higher. Easy is always completely free. You can play as much easy as you want. And when you're starting out, you might end up just doing a lot of that because the game's pretty hard, actually. In order to play normal or higher, you use coins, and you get 4 every day. You can get more by watching ads. That's how it goes, because we have to eat, and I want to pay my team, as I said. So, but again, if you don't want that, you can buy Club Pass, and what happens with Club Pass is you can play as many songs as you want of any difficulty, and like forever, and there are no more ads in the game, and it unlocks a couple other nice, like, you know, nice features to have, like practice mode and stuff like that. So
practice mode, I kind of need that.
So there, you can either do like one upfront cost, or you can play the game with like ads and stamina. And, you know, whatever suits you best, honestly. All the story content in the game is playable for free. And that includes updates, right? Like, not just, like, what's here now. Like, you'll be able to play the game start to finish without, like, paying, like, anything.
Right. Finally, how do you feel now that the game is released?
Oh, man. Get back to me in a few days.
Eternal is numb right now. Cannot feel, can only patch game.
I feel like I transcended to like another plane of existence, and I'm only coming back like gradually right now. So.
I do not blame you for feeling that way at all. And that's why I appreciate you putting what little brain power you have left after this into this interview. I tried to not ask questions that were too hard, but it was a lot. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for all the hard work that you and the team put into this, and for being here on my stream and just being so lovely and making the time for this. Thank you, everybody. Can I get some hearts and pachi-pachis in the chat for Caternal, please? Please, please, please.
Thanks so much for having me here.
I also, did you notice that I dressed up for today?
Oh no! What? Is it the bow?
Yes, I have a little rose in my hair, just like Hikari's.
That's so cute.
Ta-da. I tried to find one that looked exactly like the one that she's wearing with like the bow, the ribbon and everything, but I couldn't find one in time. I grabbed this like 5 minutes before the stream, but
I was like, oh my god, I'm too tired for this.
It's okay. It's okay. That's valid. As you can see, Caternal is wearing my Welcome to the Bee Hype shirt. Bless your soul. Yeah.